And welcome in, Gyms and Gymettes, to a brand new journey into the wasteland of the interwebs and all that fun jazz. My name is Nick Johnston. Joining me every single, we'll have a little rotating door of people every single week. I got Mike Fat Cat here with me today, and the Allen Gator. How you guys doing today?
Great, good, man. How are you doing?
Oh, we're doing okay. Like I said, my name is Nick. We're doing a little new thing today, a little new show, kind of a little bit of a rebranding. This is going to be called No Substitute for Sports. Let's go through the to start at the top. To no one's fault of anyone's own. The DAAAgenerates podcast is ended. No juicy TMZ type falling out between Bill and I. Simply just put, life hit Bill, and he got a new job, and finding time to record was going to becoming an issue. It's becoming a chore. As instead of just making it a big hassle, we decided let's just end it. He'll find the time eventually, and in the meantime, I'll just do this because hey, I want to get some practice, and I want to put it out there. I'll put it out there publicly. I'm gonna try and make this a thing. I just want to do broadcasting. I want to get on the radio. So, putting this out there and making myself, accountable, just like in the recording or something to whatever. So to whoever sees that's my goal. That's what we're trying to do here. So new show, new everything. I want to start off with a new name because I don't know. It's just obviously not having the two original DAAAgenerates doesn't really make any sense. I want to be a little respectful. There we go. That's the word. Words are still hard over here on the new show. So this is it. Like I said, this will be the No Substitute for Sports with Nick and the Lambs. I'll have a new flock of lambs. I don't want to keep anyone, like I said, restrict anybody. We'll have a rotating door. We'll have new people. Some maybe do a solo show sometimes or something like that. And yeah, like I said,
sometimes it will just be me.
Might be you. Yeah, you'll get in there. You'll get some shit in there, no problem. So, yeah, like I said, we'll get some practice in here. My goal, like I said, just will make this just as good as anything else that we're trying to put out there. And with maybe just one episode per week, I'm gonna try and focus in, be a tiny bit more ready every single week, be a little bit more organized every single week, have more collective and organized segments and just stuff like that. Just like I said, just more of a practice. And I still want to put out the best sort of point of views and talking points that we can, while still having some fun here. That's why we got the boys here today, as always. So, like I said, I kind of gave you a little bit of a poor intro. Maybe you guys go one by one. Alan, how you feeling today?
Feeling pretty good.
Yeah. We got that. We'll be talking. We'll be talking Bears talk today. So we get. I know you're probably excited about the Bears getting the number 1 overall pick. You probably got some trade scenarios going on in your head. I know you're rocking the Bears tee today. You
of course. Show that off. There you go. Gotta rock the Bears all the time.
Hell yeah.
He has nothing on. That's why you can only see his head.
Are you kidding me?
There you go. There you go.
Wow.
There you go. He's rocking it. He's rocking it for the people watching on the YouTubes. And over there, I know on the flip side, I had a little bit of a disappointing week watching his Packers go by.
Oh.
But we'll get to that, of course. Mike, you've seen before on the fantasy show. You join me every single week on that. So, Mike, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling great, man.
There we go. Hell yeah.
Feeling great. Am I telling the truth, or
I don't know? Are you? I don't know. You're probably lying to me. You got Aaron Rodgers. We'll be getting everything, but Aaron Rodgers is telling you a little bit of this way. He's like, I think I'm going to hold on to this one today, kids. So, like I said, we'll get your thoughts on that. Maybe even Alan Lazard throwing his hat in the ring of I'm out of here. I'm done. So I can see your disappointment in your face. You're not going to be feeling that segment a little bit later, but of course, we got everything NFL. Everything that mattered from last week. Oh, you're flipping us off. What's up? What's on your mind, Jim? Yeah, they're giving you the opportunity, and then
no, I'm a Packer fan.
Yeah,
it's on my mind.
There you go. Yeah, we'll be talking everything from the disappointment to the games that mattered. The Bears, like I said, Bears going to be number 1 overall pick. What we want to do with that playoff picture preview. We'll talk a little bit of NCAA football championship game. That was a little bit of lopsided affair. Maybe get your guys' point of view on how they're going to expand this playoff, the pros and cons of that. getting a little bit of Bulls talk, possibly. We got a little bit of White Sox talk and a little bit of MLB around the horn, and then finish it off like we usually do. A little bit of wrestling and actually some breaking news on that. So we'll go ahead and get into that. Without further ado, I feel like, like I said, we'll get into what NFL wise. How do you want to start off here? I mean, you want to just get it off right out in your chest right away, Mike, or do you want to talk a little bit? I don't know, just around the league, the games that mattered, anything that stuck out to you. How do we want to tackle this? Just the disappointment. I can feel it from here. It's unbelievable. I know. Well, I mean, I guess we'll just jump around. Let's do the Saturday games. Let's start with the Saturday slate. Not really anything too crazy. The Chiefs just took care of the Raiders, no problem. Obviously, everyone probably saw that circling around play, just playing ring around the rosy with the Raiders. So that game was basically a squash from the get-go. Chiefs take control, and they went ahead and they just needed to take care of business, win that game, or they were going to solidify the number 1 seed right there. If you guys got anything on that, not really much to get to other than I heard, I think they're going to try and stick around with Devontae Adams and stick around with Josh Jacobs. I don't know what they're doing QB wise. So, I mean, just leaving it with that right there. Anything on that game right there?
The game was awesome. I loved that ring around the rose.
Ring around the rosy play was pretty.
Yeah, I mean that was disrespectful. I mean, they didn't score off of it, but they did technically, but there was the holding. But
that's true. Yeah, I think we could to Kadarius Toney and think it was all on some.
They still got a touchdown that drive, but that play. They took the touchdown away, but that was still crazy.
Yeah, I mean, all of it really didn't all matter. That game was just pumping it in. They really didn't care. I mean, Jordan, I remember Stidham, just not really the guy for the Raiders, and just a little bit of a disappointing season for sure for Las Vegas fans and Raiders fans in general. Going to go out with a loss. I mean, just the Chiefs just holding it strong, taking care of the division. And like I said, just before we took this big break, I feel like an idiot. I went not heavy, but I was like, the Broncos are going to take care of this division. No problem. And sure enough, just everyone took a big dump besides the Chiefs, and, the Chargers stuck around. So obviously they're going to be in the playoffs. We get into that. Any thoughts on that game, Alan? Did you see that game there, Jim?
No, not too many thoughts on that.
Yeah, there you go. That's okay. Jags Titans was the big main event there. Everyone was that was the win in your end game. You win the division. There was still a little bit of a chance for the Jaguars to get in if they did lose, but didn't have to come to that. Jaguars off of a defensive play, I believe, were able to take the lead on a touchdown. I don't know. Yeah, a little bit, but I'm glad that happened. I think the Jags are a little bit more suited, have a much far better talent than the Titans do overall. Malik Willis or Joshua Dobbs, whoever they planned on manning the helmet quarterback if they did get into the playoffs, weren't going to be the guys. And a lot of people are saying that the Jags are the dark horses. They're comparing them to the Bengals of last year, but I think the Bengals are still the Bengals as of last year. They got a big chip on their shoulder with this whole coin toss, losing not being able to play a game. I mean, unfortunately, because of the Damar Hamlin situation, but I mean, maybe you saw with the Joe Mixon celebration when he walked in, he flipped a fake coin and then kicked it, saying like, "Get the fuck out of here. We're not dealing with that." So, I mean, more or less, like I said, I kind of went on a tangent, but yeah, Jags take care of the Titans. They're going to get a home field game. They're going to play the Chargers, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But any thoughts on that game in general, Jags Titans? A little bit of a boring game, a little low scoring end, but that's kind of what you expect from these two teams.
Yeah, we were watching it at
watching at the bar.
Actually, yeah. It was a decent game, I honestly thought the Jaguars were cooked when they were losing 10-0. I messaged our chat. I was like, "Good night, Jags," and they ended up coming back and winning. So it was. I always like games where it's those late wins like that. It was like a fumble or something, right?
It was a sack fumble recovered and then brought back for about probably like 20 or 30 yards. I'm going to quickly look at the box score. Yeah, it was about a 37-yard fumble return. And then, of course, sealing it with a 4-point lead. Wouldn't be able to win it with a field goal. Had to go down. They had an opportunity, but just couldn't get it into the end zone. It's a shame when, a guy like Derrick Henry, you had him on your fantasy team, and in general, we like watching these top tiered guys. He did it all. He left it all out there. He had 30 carries on the ground for 100 yards. He had some big explosive runs, and that just another highlight reel stiff arm that you're just going to be watching on your YouTube highlights again when you search up Derrick Henry's name. Another disappointing situation where a lot of people probably had a lot of people thought, I'll just say, just like myself, I thought the Titans or the Colts were going to be the shoe-in leaders of this division. For a while, it looked like it was going to be the Titans division to lose. They lost like 5 or 6 in a row. And sure enough, the Jags just got hot at the right time and they were able to get the division. So good for them. And I know all three of us will be enjoying that because we all like Tony Khan. We like the Khan brother, the Khan family, and AEW.
Yeah,
so
and
we got a soft spot. Got a soft spot in the hot for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Duval.
I love seeing the video after Tony and Shad Khan in the locker room. And I forget what's the coach's name? Doug Peterson. Yeah, he was giving them a game ball and they were just like so excited. He was like, I'm going to bottle up this moment and just live with it forever. I was like,
yeah, I saw that.
They're just so happy.
Did you guys see the video of him jump? I think he was jumping on Zay Jones.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, love the enthusiasm, love the excitement coming from Tony Khan. The only thing that I got from it was he dropped his phone out of his pocket, and I felt bad. And then for 2 seconds, I was like, wait, he's a millionaire. He's going to go buy a phone in 2 seconds, or someone probably picked it up.
Someone got his phone.
I was just thinking in my mind, like, I hope Tony Khan got his phone back. Like, he was really excited. I don't know. That was just me. That was just the dumb thought in my head. But of course, like I said, the Jacksonville Jaguars able to take care of the Titans 20-16 on that.
Let's go Jaguars.
There you go. Let's go Jags. And then, of course, another narrative, another storyline everyone's following and hoping for, maybe, that the WWE is going to have to give the Jags a belt if they end up winning the Super Bowl. And of course, as we just said, AEW, Tony Khan runs AEW. So just be a little like stinger, a little like, hey, come on, give us your belt. Make us a belt, you monkeys. You belt guys. Yeah.
That would be pretty hilarious if they had to do that.
Yeah.
Ultimate troll.
Yeah. Again, just looking at the NFL slate, nothing too crazy. The Bills were able to take care of the Patriots. The Patriots had to get in to win, and they did, and they needed a little bit of help, but they did not get in. The Dolphins on what was just so ugly. It's just an ugly game and possibly screwed up a lot of people's spreads on the Jets, plus 3.5 on that last second safety, making it 11-6, which is not a scoregami. It's a regular season scoregami, but it's been played before. I think we looked it up. The NFC Championship in 2000. This same score was happened before, but again, looks gross. The Dolphins able to get in. Their prize, they get to play the Bills in the first round. I don't really know if that's too much of what you want to enjoy. And Tua, as of right now, still hasn't been cleared for any sort of contact or anything. So they might be running with Teddy Bridgewater or whoever. I mean, gun to my head, I could not name you who was playing. Skylar Thompson is this guy's name. Not a good game. 20 for 31 on his pass completions. No turnovers, but 152 yards is not going to get it done. Again, this game from start to finish was just ugly. Something that we were kind of alluding to back in the day was, what are the Dolphins going to do? They might have to rely on this run game if they can put one together. But it seems like Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr. had a pretty decent game, 140 yards between the two of them. So maybe if they can get something with that together, a little scary with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, both kind of looking a little shaky. I don't really plan on having any hope against the Bills, so I might just be, blowing smoke up their ass right now. So that's about it on that game. If you had anything on that, I'm just looking around. Terrible game from the Panthers. I don't even know how. If you're gonna give Justin Fields all this flack for his terrible performances throughout the year. How does Sam Darnold put together a 5 for 15 performance, 2 interceptions, 43 total yards through the air? They end up winning 10-7 somehow. That's how you fall up the stairs. I can't put it any which way. Like, that is just unbelievable. They did their best. They could have, I don't know, that division just from top to bottom was just disgusting. Of course, we'll get into that in just a little bit. And just looking through the last thing, Seahawks able to take care of the Rams. That solidified that they were either gonna have to wait and linger on the Packer game. That took the Lions out of the equation. Lions and people like Jamal Williams didn't want to know as they were getting ready for the field, as they were getting prepped to get ready for this game against the Packers. And unfortunately, as the Sunday night broadcast was going, they panned to Ford Field, or maybe they call it Ford Field or Little Caesars Field or something, whatever the fuck it's called. Going to be a big viewing party for the Detroit Lions fans. And as soon as they all found out that they couldn't get into the playoffs, the building was completely evacuated, basically. So, which brings us to our Sunday night game, which is what everyone watched. I don't know what the ratings would be. It's probably true to roof, but Lions, Packers, it all came down to a big one. Of course, I've been talking a big one. I want to get your thoughts, Mike, from your point of view as the big Packer fan. I'll just throw this out for the two of us, Alan. If you don't mind us speaking for the two of us, you've had more of an opportunity to actually enjoy your fandom as opposed to Alan and I. We haven't been in the same positions as you are to actually be in the playoffs, enjoy a playoff berth, win a Super Bowl. He won that in 2010, of course, but just to be in these opportunities is good. But of course, to also watch this on the other end as a Bears fan, this is enjoyable. But I just want to throw that out there. Like I said, we can just kind of just see which way I can kind of. Well, what would it be? I can reason with you. I can level with you that this sucks and whatever. But we haven't been in that position before in a long time. So just bouncing it back and forth. So
it's understandable.
In the long-winded way of saying nah, boo boo. Fuck the Packers, but go ahead. I wanted to go ahead and get your thoughts from start to finish on that game. Aaron Rodgers' performance, Aaron Rodgers' thoughts after the game, just top to bottom. What'd you think? What happened in that game?
The Packers season. Aaron Rodgers' last throw as a Packer is gonna be an arm punt.
Oh my God.
I cannot believe this.
That's
the
one
Packers
way of looking at it.
Lose to the Detroit Lions. That's what I'm going to have to live with the rest of my life. The last game that Rodgers plays as a Packer, they got eliminated by the Detroit Lions at home. I'm going to hear that for the rest of my life. This has been pretty sad couple of days. But at least we're not losing in the playoffs. That's the only positive thing. But the one thing that hurts the most is the hope that they gave me, because this team was horrible. They were shitty as fuck. We were fighting for the number 1 pick earlier against the Bears in the season, and now they win. They're like injecting drugs into my veins every week. It's like, oh my God, is this really happening? They keep winning. Is there really going to be hope? And it came down to last week where I was so locked in. I was back in the train. I was so hyped. And and of course they lose. It's just so depressing. Honestly, it sucks in that they didn't even make it to the playoffs, but and that I do truly think that was Rodgers' final game as a Packer. It just seemed like it, the way that he was acting. And I know he does this shit every season, but I don't know. It just felt different. And yeah, Alan Lazard is definitely gone. He was pissed off. They were asking him, "Do you think Rodgers is gonna be here next season?" He's like, "Shit, I don't know if I'm gonna be here. Fuck if I know. If I care about him." I was like, "Oh my." He's like, "In the first game I played with the Packers, was actually against the Lions, and now my last game, which it is against the Lions."
That's what the comment was, where he goes like when he throws that in there, you're like, "Whoa, okay, oh shit." And you can only, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and post that narrative, but you can only imagine maybe some some fraction or something that was going on in the locker room between somebody somehow. But
people are saying that he was referring to it being like the last game of the season, like, oh, like it, which it was, because they got eliminated. But it's like, I guess, but I
yeah,
don't
still
know.
in that context, I don't know. It's kind of
Lazard isn't a number one receiver, by the way.
Yeah, no,
He's not that good at route running, and he's dropped a lot of passes this season. So, I mean, Christian Watson has honestly looked way better than him all year. So I don't know. It is just all around. It's sad. I mean, just knowing I was just sitting in my room after the game, like looking at my Aaron Rodgers poster, just like, like that's really like, it's like, that's really it. Like that really probably was it. That was probably the last game. It's like, fuck. It's just like, it's just like, goddamn.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors up in the air. I mean, it's just a matter of what he wants to do. Does he still have the same passion as what probably a lot of people are going to throw out there?
That's what I think the most. I think that he doesn't. I don't know. I just don't think he has that fire anymore. Obviously, I'm not one to say that, but I watch all his post-game interviews and shit. It's like he chokes in the fourth quarter these past 3 years. This year, fourth quarter choke. Last year against the 49ers, fourth quarter choke. 2021 it was, I think. I forgot what team they were playing with. It again, I was looking at the stats. It's like, we talk about how good he is, but in these crucial moments in these past couple of years, it's like, where is it? Where's the Aaron Rodgers that I used to see, that I would turn on a game and I would be like, we're, no matter what, if there's 1 minute left, we're winning this game.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. I just don't get that anymore.
That's kind of what I was going to say. I mean, this was the first time in probably just the first time that I've ever seen just an uninspired Rodgers play. Jared Goff outperformed him in just about every fashion. Honestly.
The Lions everyone on the Lions was more hungry.
Yeah,
it's everything. Like they wanted it more than the Packers.
I don't want to be the guy that like, yeah, I told you so, but I said like I would have probably been more into the Lions in a betting perspective, knowing that they were eliminated because they're going to run through a wall for Dan Campbell, and whether or not they're going to get into the playoff, they still wanted to put up that idea that, hey, we were 1-6, we're going to try and finish over 500 and take Big Brother out, being the Packers in this division. So.
And I know I know I'm a Packer fan, but Rodgers, he's got the ego, and
yeah, a little bit.
He's been very smug all these years with Detroit. I mean, he's cocky, especially within the division, and I mean, yeah, I can see that Detroit and people were complaining like Detroit's acting like they won it. Well, my Packer fans in the subreddit page I'm in were like, look at these Lion fans acting like they won the Super Bowl, or like the players and stuff. I was like, I mean, it means a lot to them, man.
It does, and I don't not to hammer it in, but they make sure that the Packers don't get in, and they still have a top 6 draft pick off the top of my head because of the Rams did so poorly. I'm sorry, Alan, what were you going to say?
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm saying they kind of have a reason to celebrate too, because the Packers have been a very dominant team for a very long time.
Absolutely.
So just anyone having the opportunity to beat a good team like that, yeah,
it's all pride at that point. Absolutely.
Yeah, in Lambeau especially. And Jamal Williams, the guy that the Packers release for AJ Dillon, breaks Barry Sanders' touchdown record for the Lions.
For the franchise.
It's and I mean, it's just crazy.
He got to keep that football at the end. He had such a passionate, emotional post.
I was gonna say, I'm not even a Lions fan, of course, but that speech has made me emotional. Jamal Williams is one of my favorite players.
Yeah, if you caught
sad when we got rid of him.
I'm sorry, but if you caught the Lions Hard Knocks in the beginning, he gives a very another heartfelt speech. This guy, it's not like this guy's phoning it in. Like if he's putting it on multiple occasions and it's just all heart and post and emotion, he's literally crying. He's not faking it. He put out such another big one and inspiring speech trying to get to the whole team. They're like, hey man, we were 4-12 last year, this, that, and the other. I'm not trying to do that again. I want to do this. I want to do that. And again, just he's crying in the huddle mid practice, and these guys are like, let's go. Fuck yeah. Again, like just this team, this whole chemistry back there in the Lions, it's going to be fun to watch. And we got to see maybe a preview. They're going to get a very good pick in this draft pick. Whether they maybe want to, figure something out with the Bears. We'll get into that. But there's a lot of hope, a lot of positive movement. I mean, I was talking about that. We talked about this on the fantasy show. Amon St. Brown is going to jump up, not only just like fantasy. I feel like he's going to have a Justin Jefferson type season as of next year. I'll just be full disclosure right there. He's going to go off and be crazy. And it could be with a new quarterback, or honestly, Jared Goff's doing just fine as of right now, being their little systems quarterback. So if you're a Lions fan, you're looking very positive, looking really good right now. This is to go out like that. It does suck to not be in the playoffs, but that's a good way to go out. It's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's yeah. Do you have anything on that, Alan? You lingering on the Packers game? Just any final fuck you thoughts to Aaron Rodgers?
No, just they had a very good second half of the season, and they came out very strong in the second half of the season. They fought all the way to the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give it to you too.
Alan.
You called an Allen Lazard anytime touchdown. I know, again, being the big Bear fan that you are, you were hammering the Packers props all year long, but it's okay. But I never forget.
Bill said Jamal Williams anytime,
top receiver.
Bill said Jamal Williams first touchdown,
and
then Allen said Allen Lazard anytime touchdown. They both hit. So
yeah,
you could
they were
have parlayed
cooking
it and could have been rolling around.
Oh yeah, gonna make a little bit.
Parlayed it also with the over on Aaron Rodgers rushing yards. Imagine that you would have been cooking.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Bang, bang, bang. Everyone had a little play that hit on that game.
All of our plays would.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's see now. Well, yeah, with that being said, we have the playoff picture set, ready to roll. I mean, okay, I'll pan back to the Bears. We didn't really, obviously, there's a Midwestern Chicago oriented podcast. We'll kind of talk about the Bears game. We did everything right. We lost. We did everything that we needed to. We lost, and we lost. Oh yeah, I'm completely overlooking exactly what led to us getting the first round pick. Just the Bears
miraculous
losing
comeback
and such a great game from the Texans. Thank you, Lovie Smith. Still a Bear at heart. Never left the organization. It was truly one of the best spy things we've ever done. The Bears going in saying, "Hey, Lovie, take this job from the Texans. You're gonna go in. You're gonna go from week 1 to week 17. You're gonna have the first round pick." At 18, you're going to take the dive. Make sure Davis Mills has himself a game. Make sure Jordan Akins has his career game against the Colts. Jeff Saturday had no idea what was hitting him. And sure enough, the Houston Texans coming back. I think it was a 20-something yard touchdown from Davis Mills. Going for 2. They take the lead. They take the win. That set it up for the Bears just to lose. Just phone it in. I mean, the Vikings had their starters going. I think Kirk Cousins was probably the number 1 quarterback fantasy wise. He did everything in the first half and got away with it. Dalvin Cook got a little banged up, so maybe watch out for that. But Alexander Madison stepping in and doing just exactly what Dalvin Cook would have done anyways. I think he had two touchdowns on the ground and about 50 yards on the ground as well. Either way, this is great. This is everything we wanted. We want the first round pick. Bears haven't had the first round pick since 1947. The Truman Doctrine was in place in that year. That was the last time the Bears had the first round pick.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I guess it's a good thing, right? Because that means you've never been
because
so
that means
bad.
you haven't been the worst team in the league for so long.
Yeah, I mean, this is with the added game. We got unfortunately a franchise record in losses with 14 on the year. But again, what was the reward? What did it cost us? We got the first round pick in there, and the Bears control the draft. And I think that's the most exciting
control
thing.
The off season.
Yeah, there's so much that can go down. I'm seeing tweets and tweets with trade scenarios from basically every single team, but obviously you got to focus on the teams that matter. Maybe I'll ask you, Alan, maybe what your favorite scenario as of right now, but I think mine might be the Colts. If the Colts give us the 4th overall pick, another first round pick for next year, I believe the 2nd overall, and I think someone even threw in DeForest Buckner or someone along the lines. But if you get that, or if you get another pick, I
think that was
more than
Stinky
okay with
throwing
that.
him in there.
Yeah, but I did see Pete's message, but I also did see the same tweet that I think he saw. So I did like that because it gives us, that means, in my mind, and I think a lot of other people's minds, the first 2 picks are going to be QBs. It'll be Stroud or the other guy.
Bears pick Bryce Young.
Yeah. Oh no, that's no. We don't want that. Bears aren't going to take a quarterback. I think we're set with Fields.
Just a quick little story. On our way to work today, me and my brother are listening to the Chicago radio, and they always have these dumbass callers in every morning. And that's what the first caller before we went into the office that we heard. He was like, he's just talking about how they should try to trade Fields and get Bryce Young, and I was like, what, dude? I was like, dude, how do Bears fans actually genuinely think that? Fields has proven himself. Why would you just restart? It makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, this will be Fields' 3rd year. He's finally okay, fine. He's a good talent. Both of these guys are, but it's more or less about the reps and being able to be NFL ready and these timing. It's a crazy uptick in speed for all these guys. So having Fields ready to go, whether or not he's, I guess, the most accurate of the two.
Yeah, and that was his argument. He was like, he's not the most accurate. He's like, and he can't win these games.
We don't have a fucking number 1 guy. Again, if you gave us anybody else from any other team, they're most likely going to turn into our number 1 receiver. We don't have a number 1. We need to draft one or trade for one or sign one.
And that's where I'm at. I feel like they should go for some big name wide receiver right now and trade that number 1 pick.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
In that case, then Alan probably like the Raiders offer or not offer, but the current rumor throwing around of their swapping first round picks and getting Devontae Adams and maybe another slew of a couple picks. So is that the one you're looking at?
Definitely. I would love that situation.
Yeah,
I feel like that is the best situation the Bears can be in.
Yeah.
Having a guy that's well deserves his money. He's a monster, and whether it was Stidham or Carr throwing to him, he was still having 150-yard games and multiple score games during those times. So Devontae Adams is a proven talent. Whether you want to have your Packer bias if you have something towards that, or
my bias.
No, not in a negative light. I was trying to say in a negative light for the Bears fans that are probably listening. They're like, I don't like him because he just wore
Well, if you think that way, you're dumb as fuck.
Thank you. That's just trying to say that without saying that is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I know exactly. If you have some sort of negative, negative bias towards Devontae Adams, don't do that. You got to see that it doesn't really matter. He just wants to play and win. So that's the whole point of it. So yeah, I mean, that's not the worst decision getting Devontae Adams from the Raiders. I currently like I said, I was going through the Colts one because we still get a 4th overall pick. Boom, bang, bang. The 2 quarterbacks go, and it's just a matter of who goes between Will Anderson and the Carter guy from the newly crowned national champion Georgia Bulldogs. So a lot of people are saying Carter might be the number 1 overall pick. Mel Kiper kind of looked that way, but you kind of got to take that guy with a grain of salt. I don't know. He's a lot of crazy things. He's been probably the number 1 guy who's like, he can be the most wrong. And you're like, all right, come back next year. No problem. Like, all right, cool. I'll be back in the lab. Like, it's just crazy that he has a job every single year, but whatever. People are just questioning Carter's drive. I mean, the athleticism is obviously there for both of these guys, but it's just a matter of if they just, if he just keeps going. I don't know, just the heart, the heart has to be there, the hustle, everything like that. You just want to have the will to win. So I don't know. A lot of people are throwing out between Will Anderson and Carter. So go ahead and get either way. So I like that. I'm sold on getting a defensive end, but if we move down farther than the 9th or 10th pick, then we're probably going to have to go with that tackle from Northwestern. But again, I mean, tons of things to go with. Just the power is all in the Bears, and I absolutely love that we haven't had this opportunity in a long time. I know we just had, a couple of picks, not first overall, second overall, third overall. We turned that into Drabunski, but either way, that's it's again just good. And I love the way that the Bears they have all the power.
No matter what the Bears do, I feel like they'll be in a good situation, whether they trade away for a lot of picks or they trade away for one good player and a pick or whatever it is that they would get in return.
Yeah.
I feel like whatever they do, they can't go wrong. Like they have so many good options. They just gotta hope that what they do and it just doesn't turn out to be a bust. But
yeah, you can say that obviously about a lot of these picks, but of course, just getting the number one pick, it's trading away the number one pick. If you get a haul either way, that's a good thing. Yeah, good analysis on that one there, Jim. Yeah, I think you're right. You're exactly right. The Bears really can't go wrong if they do end up just not trading away the number overall pick and still taking possibly the number one overall talent in the draft. You still got to be like, okay, that was technically a good move. While you could have got value out of all the picks, still, it's just like, all right, get the guy. I mean, just at that point, just
like you're saying, it might not make sense for the situation they're in, but if they're getting the number one talent,
it might. And of course, I can't speak for everyone. It's going to be very infuriating if that ends up being the case. When of course we know we could probably still end up getting the guy and a haul, but I don't know. You got to play the game. I'm sure the Bears will still end up doing something right. I don't think they're gonna fumble it as bad as Bill thinks we're going to. We're not drafting a kicker in the first round. It's just not gonna happen. Sorry, dude. Yeah. If you guys are good on that, if you guys got any more comment on the Bears, just past games, we can get into previewing the playoff picture. Just a quick run through. Just maybe they win, they cover, that hit over hits. If you guys are ready to roll for playoff preview, wild card.
Yeah, I'm ready. Go for it.
Hit it.
All right, cool. Starting off on Saturday, get some pretty good games right there. Just two to like a good appetizer. Start off at 3:30. We get Seahawks and Niners. I'm giving the San Fran currently a 10-point spread. Favorites in that regard. I'm giving the Seahawks no chance. I'm sorry. I know they're division matchups, but Geno Smith is absolutely banged up. I'm not going to question his talent or whatever, but if he's going to play, you're gonna have to be a little bit weary. And of course, Tyler Lockett coming off the surgery. DK Metcalf hasn't been all that great. I still have to worry a little bit with Kenyon or Walker. I know Walker the third, but if the 49ers are just rolling in with Brock Purdy and they're still just hitting on all facets, all on everything, they're hitting, they're just defense, offense, special teams. It's all going their way. They're blowing these guys out without having to really sweat. And it's just going to be like that again. I feel Niners probably going to take it big. I'll roll the dice and even take the 10 points right there. So anything on that game?
No, I think you're 100% correct. I think it's going to be a blowout. I got the 49ers going pretty far in this playoff run. I think they're going to make a deep run for sure. Like you're saying, they're on a hot streak, and I'm a big McCaffrey fan, so
yeah,
I feel like he made a big difference on that team. I definitely think they have a very good chance of making it deep and possibly taking it all.
Yeah. Between McCaffrey and they just reactivated Eli Mitchell, who ended up scoring a touchdown last week. And they have one other running back and their rookie. I'm gonna forget the name, but he just scored his.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, for sure. He just scored his first touchdown as a rookie, maybe 2 weeks ago against the Buccaneers, and the way he celebrated was just like, oh, that's so awesome. Like he was just watching somebody else being so excited for something that just like it hits you in the feels. Like, yeah, that's so fucking cool. So this again, I just thought that was like. He's like, this ball is mine. No one is ever taking this away from me. The type of energy that I was getting from that. So just absolutely love that.
Great. Yeah.
I'm gonna do my best and try and get the name up in front of me, but of course I'm probably gonna fumble it. Either way, that game might be looking like a blowout, and it doesn't really matter who's quarterback in the helm because that defense is just firing on all cylinders. Looking at the night game, Chargers and Jags. That game was a little hairy, a little bit funky. I can't really make heads or tails because every time I want to put my full confidence into the Chargers and think that they're fully healthy, fully ready to go, and that they might actually be the better talent here, they come up and just shit the bed. And whether it's a poor performance,
don't be biased. I know we're all Tony Khan fans and all, but
no, yeah, no, that's what I'm kind of getting to. Like, it's just a weather of what Justin Herbert are you going to get that day? Are you going to get the elite Justin Herbert that they drafted for early in the first round, or are you going to get these past couple really bad performances from Justin Herbert? I mean, I wouldn't want to be biased. I'm like a big fan. I mean, if you haven't already sniffed it out, I've had Austin Eckler in my past 2 years in fantasy. I'm a huge Austin Eckler fan. I think he's just a really great talent, fun to watch. He's a really good personality. He's got his own fantasy football show, for Christ's sake. He's just he was one of those guys that are just really good for football, really good for the game, and just spreading awareness and shit like that. So I personally would want them to win, in some sort of capacity. I think that, again, the guys on there between Bosa on the defensive end, still got Khalil Mack over there as well, as if you want to be, again, a little mad or have a chip on your shoulder with that, and having him being a former Bear and whatnot. But I think the Chargers got a solid squad on both ends, as long as, again, Derwin James, if he's all healthy, ready to roll, they could have a solid little run. But again, a lot of people are putting this dark horse a little roll on the Jags. It kind of could match in the same capacity. They're a top pass rushing defense. That's something that really it could factor in towards the playoff run. Well, being so late in the season, a lot of people get tired and stuff like that. So Jags, they got Travis Etienne Jr., Trevor Lawrence actually having a good season. Didn't have all the why am I blanking on the words? All the distractions from last year from having just not even having a coach basically all year long. So this is probably Trevor Lawrence's legit first year of being, having a full good season, having a former Super Bowl winning head coach. And, a lot of people were disappointed, or not disappointed, but like, whoa, shocked. Like, why did this guy get this money? But Christian Kirk shut everybody up, followed by Zay Jones coming out of nowhere and Evan Ingram being a Pro Bowl tight end. And all he had to do was leave New York. So this is going to be a fun game. I think this is one of these teams could make just like how you were kind of alluding to the San Fran making a far run. And for personal game, I got them winning the Super Bowl. So cross my fingers right there. Hopefully they get a little bit of a nice healthy roll there. But one of these teams could make a lot of noise depending on who they see next, for sure. So good divisional matchup. What do you got on this one, Alan?
No, I'm definitely with you. I feel like they, like you were saying, like they're good, evenly matched teams. They all have very good players and in crucial positions. So
yes, absolutely. It's just a matter of a lot of people are gonna probably, if you're looking at the defensive end, they're more or less maybe the same. The Jags defense doesn't really tackle very well, so maybe focus on that. But again, talent QB wise, talent running back wise, they can match you on the wide receiver ends as well. So this is gonna be a fun game between the Jags and the Chargers. Did you have any? I mean, kind of just broke that down really quick, Mike. But did you have any thoughts on the Jags and the Chargers matchup?
Jaguars steal it. Tony Khan wins.
Tony Khan wins.
Yeah, just like Austin Butler just won the Golden Globe for Elvis.
Yeah, you ain't nothing but a hound dog. Let's go. Nor you were excited for that, of course. Like, it's just like,
I was waiting all night for that.
Yeah, just like the other shows, we'll be covering everything sports entertainment wise. So yeah, we're looking for a big Elvis one right there. So good for you. Good for
they were playing. They kept playing the music louder and louder, playing off his speech, and he's like, "You could play Suspicious Minds or something."
Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah. I forgot on the Saturday games. We can flip over to Sunday. Early standpoint. Not really much hope in this one. Kind of like the early matchup on Saturday. Dolphins, Bills. Big 10-point spread for the Bills. I'm not really giving anything to the Dolphins. Not that good of a defense. The Bills are hungry. Don't really have to sit here and preview what Josh Allen can do. Stephon Diggs is ready to go. He had a nice little Week 18 game. Yeah, I think like 7 receptions, 80 yards, and a touchdown, maybe even 100. And then Gabe Davis could also compliment you right there. Dawson Knox, whoever wants to run that ball, whether it's Devin Singletary or I think they have Naeem Hines now as well. So I mean, he got the two return touchdowns. That was pretty good. Good for the NFL writers. For them to push that storyline. But yeah, the Bills, I think they're just going to take care of the Dolphins, no problem. Just another division matchup that, I don't really see anything on this game. So yeah, is there anything?
I'm with you. I don't think the Dolphins have a shot.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
If Tua's playing, they got a shot.
I suppose, but
unless they're dragging him out there like that NFL memes posted the other day of the Drake and Josh episode with the girl.
It's exactly what I was thinking of. I was thinking about it's Uncle Vinny, weekend at Uncle Bernie's or something like that, when he's just dead the entire time and they throw a party and she's like, "Oh, what's going on?" He just had like a string. He's just a marionette the entire time. What's that, Tua? We're going to run the ball. All right, set it. Like, okay.
Fumble.
Yeah, fumble.
Tua,
that is Tua's 8th fumble of the day. We have no idea what's going on.
That ball must be slippery, Jim.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a CBS game. Good call on that one. There we go. Nothing too exciting here from the Dolphins Bills perspective. Yeah, probably just going to be an ass whooping from ear to ear. Looking at the next one, I smell an upset, and I smell it from far away. Giants Vikings. I think I like the Giants. You guys can talk me off the ledge for it. We said it in passing. We've said it on the fantasy show. We've said it. Probably I've said it on the Degenerates week in and week out. Like I said, in private, we've had it in a bunch of conversations. Vikings are frauds. They are the definitions of the frauds this year. Whether you can say like, oh, it's good that they've won all these close games, that shows heart and character and all that. No, that could just be a little bit of luck and being at the right place at the right time. Playing down to your competition. And the Giants just played maybe 2 weeks ago, and if it wasn't for a 50+ yarder, 60-yard field goal that decided that matchup, it could have went the Giants' way as well. So I like this. The Vikings played all their starters last week. Saquon and Daniel Jones got a little bit of a rest last week. The Giants put in their B squad against the Eagles A team and still put up a little bit of a fight. I think they kind of blew them out towards the end. The Eagles needed to win that game, and the Giants were like, we'll just throw in whoever wants to play. And they still gave him a little bit of a game. So that gives me a little bit of confidence in saying the Giants could probably take it +3 money lines, like +130 right now. So talk me off the ledge, or unless you guys are agreeing with me. What do you guys think on this game?
I'm with you. Fuck the Vikings.
Any thoughts on that one, Alan?
No, you're definitely right. The Vikings have been one of the biggest frauds in the league. Yeah, definitely. The Giants have surprisingly have been very good. So
it's all gonna be Brian Dable.
Anything can happen. I feel like
how can we not root for
two
Julian
teams completely
Love?
Polar opposites. One's supposed to be very good and surprisingly play horrible in some games, and the Giants have been very good throughout this entire season. So
yeah,
you can put that on a ton of things. Maybe just Saquon being fully healthy. Maybe Daniel Jones being a little bit ready to go they're a little bit more secure with these receivers. But I'm gonna definitely lean towards the play calling. I'm gonna give all the praise to Brian Dable, the head coach. He should probably be the front runner for coach of the year in my mind. I don't know what the odds are on that, or if they've already decided that, but Yeah, I think that's been the key reason why they've won games and they're in the position that they are. And of course, like I said, having a healthy Saquon definitely helps you. And then, getting them the rest this last week, Dalvin Cook going down during the Bears game last week might not be a lingering issue. You'd have to definitely look into the practices and how he does throughout the week. But I don't know if he's a little banged up and not 100%. I'm not going to be a little too excited because the Giants defense does key in on that run, and they can make it not very good for Dalvin Cook and company. So you might have to rely on a big game from Justin Jefferson, which very much could happen. And TJ Hawkinson, he dunked on me in the fantasy playoffs, so I'm sure he'll probably stick around and probably do something maybe in the regular playoffs, but probably not because the Vikings are bad. So that's that on that game. Flip over the nightcap. I'm looking at the Ravens Bengals. Looking at the Bengals way. I'm not really sure if you're going to get a healthy Lamar Jackson, if you're going to get him from the start, but this could be exciting. I don't know if maybe the Ravens cover the number, keep it a little close, but the Bengals have had the Ravens number for the past couple matchups as of right now. Just took care of them last week. Had a lot of their starters going, but my God, I mean, Burrow and Jamar Chase look absolutely unstoppable. And you throw on top of it, you can still throw to T. Higgins. You can still rely on Joe Mixon on the ground. This team, like I said earlier, has a chip on its shoulder with the whole ordeal of having to probably rely on the coin flip game, but they won outright, so didn't have to worry about that. They're upset. They're upset. So they want to put together a long run. I think they're poised to do it. They were in the Super Bowl for a reason last year. So let's see. I don't know. I don't want to jump the gun and say maybe they take care of the Ravens handily, but it's definitely in the cards that this could be a blowout. So I don't know. How you guys feeling?
I'm definitely with you on that. I'm going to agree with what you said, that they have a lot of great wide receivers and they have a lot of options to go to. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but that's one of the teams I feel like you said, they can go far. They were in the Super Bowl last year, and they have a very good shot of doing it again and making it over there, possibly winning. So if that happens, I don't know if they would. I felt like the Bears can possibly go to them and maybe get a receiver from them. Higgins can possibly be a number one on a different team.
Yeah, that's been thrown up there too. A rumor of T. Higgins along with their first round pick and a couple other picks as well. Which, I mean, again, a little bit of personal bias of having T. Higgins on my past couple fantasy teams, and I've had him just spread around. I think he can be a number one, basically anywhere else. I mean, no fault to that. Just Jamar Chase is really, really good, and then just to have him second, I mean, just. You love that option as a Bengals fan, but you see that when Jamar Chase was out throughout the 3 or 4 games throughout the season when he was out with his arm, T. Higgins had his 2 best games on the year, just receiving wise, touchdown wise, yardage wise, everything. So he shines when he's not there for sure. So he shows that he can just take the helm and be like, yeah, I'm the number one guy now. So I love it, and he's young. He's our age, I'm pretty sure. So that's exciting. So if that was in the cards, I would love to switch hands with the Bengals just because they have everything right now. I mean, they've poised to make a long run into the playoffs. So you got to rely on that O-line. I know, of course, that's been a narrative all season long. They went ahead and got everything ready free agency wise, made a couple moves, and they ended up still getting sacked just as much, if not more, than last year. So that'll be another question mark to worry about. But this is exciting. More Ravens news. They went ahead and locked up Roquan Smith for the next 5 years, $100 million. Any thoughts on that? Anywhere on that?
A lot of money.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot of money, and it's definitely money that the Bears didn't want to pay him.
They did. So they offered him.
Yeah, that's actually not.
I think they offered him more than
they
that.
offered him 90.
They offered him right around the same ballpark, right around the same amount of time. It's just a matter. I mean, if you wanted to get that extra 10, good on you. But I don't know. It's pricey. But I mean, we've argued before that Roquan, he's up there statistically in just about every category in linebackers. So he's earned being up there and being the elite caliber linebacker. will he earn this money and probably create this new trend of linebackers getting paid now? I don't know. You've opened Pandora's box open. So I don't know how that's going to work out. Good for the Ravens. They've locked up a solid talent, but it's just going to be a matter of, is he going to be worth it? Is he going to be worth it? Is always going to be the question. So good on them. Good for Roquan. Can't be salty over here. Of course, we would have loved him over on the Bears side, but if he feels that he was wronged in any sort of way or didn't like the outlook of the Bears franchise with this new new Ryan Poles at the helm and whatnot, I don't know. I can't speak for that. So just in that case, like I said, good on him. So it might be an early round exit. But again, kind of in the same fashion, is like good that they got there in any sort of way. So that's Sunday night. And yeah, you got a Monday night capper, Cowboys, Buccaneers. Again, you might have to talk me off the ledge. I know they looked so bad, but does Tom Brady really go out in the first round against a Dallas Cowboys team that hasn't really been hitting on all cylinders?
No.
What do you guys
Tom
think?
Brady's like 14-0 against the Dallas Cowboys, I saw.
Ooh,
So
okay.
That's a crazy stat. I personally feel like that game's going to be a stinker. Both teams have been not too great. I don't think it's going to be a very high scoring game.
I honestly I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if the Buccaneers like fucked them up. Like honestly,
that would be pretty good.
The Cowboys, like Alan has said, they both have had their off games, and like honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if they got beat down.
What was it? Evans had like 3 or 4 touchdowns the other like a week or two ago, or whatever it was.
Like, absolutely cooking.
Yeah, they can do it every once in a while, but they just haven't been consistent. So it's just whether do they come with their A game or do they both just come out and shit the bed?
And it's the playoffs now. It's a different Tom Brady now. I feel like it's going to be a different kind. It's just going to be a different Bucs team.
Definitely going to be a different animal in Tom Brady when the playoffs come up. It's a different animal. I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, you don't want to see this, that, and the other." This is the only one that's like, all right, you might not want to see Tom Brady in the playoffs right now. It's just a little lingering thing. I mean, he's the only one that's kind of been there, done that at this point. I think on the AFC side, Patrick Mahomes is the oldest. He's the oldest quarterback at 27, and all the others, all these other guys. How did I see that? Did you guys share that? Did one of you guys share that in
I don't think so.
Okay, sorry.
I did just see that. Scrolling.
Okay, I must have just saw it on Twitter or something like that. Either way, like that's crazy to think that. There you go, more Enzo in there. But yeah, I mean this playoff picture is all ready to go. I mean, in that case, if hearing 14-0 against the Cowboys, I'm gonna take Buccaneers plus money. I might as well. It's not the worst case scenario. Get a little bit get some plus 2.5 action, probably again similar to the Giants, maybe like plus 125, plus 130 on the money line, depending on where you go. Might be a good way to go. Might be a good one. Cowboys defense is tough, but I think the Buccaneers are just poised to just throw. They're just going to throw to Chris Godwin. They're just going to throw to Mike Evans, kind of like what Alan said. He had 3 touchdowns in a humongous game, yardage wise. If he just does basically what he did to Carolina, which is like a bunch of stop and goes, get some space, he can be gone. He can be gone for 70-yard touchdowns, no problem. He's still that elite caliber talent, and a lot of people want to blow smoke up that. Is it Trayvon Diggs, one of the other Diggs brother? He can intercept the ball, but he gives up a lot of blown coverages as well. So watch out for that. The only thing that's kind of like pull back on the Buccaneers, they just can't run the ball. Their offensive line they can protect Tom Brady long enough for him to get a quick bullet pass out, but not good enough to get Rashard White or Leonard Fournette really going on the ground. None of them have really had like a big yardage game on the year as of late. So we'll have to just maybe take care of that. Maybe watch that. Dak Prescott, I don't know. Do you believe in him? Does the Dallas defense believe in that? Or the Dallas faithful believe in that? I don't know. I don't know. He's been putting up some very poor performances. So, any final closing thoughts on that? Like I said, not gonna sit here and predict who's gonna win right now, playoff Super Bowl wise, but just you know, a lot of things looking good right now. Anything more on this? Any final thoughts on this wild card week?
No, really, man. It's gonna be a good one. That's all I know. I'll be sitting down watching it nonstop.
Absolutely.
This is the best time of you. This is the best time to watch football. This is when it matters now.
Hell
This is
yeah.
when it matters the
Absolutely.
most.
Absolutely. All righty. Let's see. In that case, I got two final things on NFL. Just really quick. Just JJ Watt gonna be retire. Just one of those things where it's just you came what maybe 2010. He was probably drafted in the Texans. One of those examples that if we're kind of while we're still on the Bears talking whatever over here, the Texans were 4-12, 4-12 whenever they had the year before they got JJ Watt and Deshaun Watson. They flipped that over, and then they were 12-4 the year following. So when you get a defensive rusher, a pass rusher that can fuck things up for everybody else, you can change your franchise. And that could be a good tangent into talking about the Bears, like I said, but we're flipping it back. We're talking about JJ Watt. Clear-cut Hall of Famer. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't have any of the stats in front of me, but dominated basically every single time he played. I just love that highlight reel that one year, I think it was 2016, where he scored like 4 touchdowns between defenses and actually catching some touchdowns. He used to play tight end back in the day in college. So very fun to see. It just looks like the Cardinals, the franchise broke them. But, having this health scare, having his firstborn son born this year, I think it's just good that while he has all his tangible things, while he's still good to go, good to just call it quits, hang up the cleats, hang up the helmet, and knowing him, the personality around the whole Watt family, he'll get some sort of broadcasting job, no problem. So just want to say good on you, commend you guys from here, from No Substitute for Sports over here. JJ Watt, you're again for sure going in the Hall of Fame. No problem with that. So any thoughts on that? Any like big highlights that you guys like? I know I got another one after you guys go if you got one.
No, definitely like you said, he's a Hall of Famer. If he goes out now, retires now, he's made a name for himself, and what else can you ask for? You're one of the biggest names in your position, and like you said, he's a Hall of Famer, no doubt. So good for him. Enjoy the rest of your life, whatever you end up doing. Yeah,
absolutely. Big inspiration on the field and off the field. I believe he's also a Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner. What you got on there, Alan or Mike?
Next stop, Canton.
Yeah, there you go. It's a good way to put it. Yeah, besides like I said, he's got some good moments. He's probably on SNL or whatever, but I liked his we always fart around and think it's funny when it's like, oh, JJ Watt, what are you doing here? You're cleaning up the swamps? I forgot whatever commercial that was for, like AARP, the insurance commercial.
How could I forget about
that one? And then if you catch it on like NFL, the hot mics or whatever that's on YouTube, it's probably gone viral. It was either Ray Rice. I think he said this to Ray Rice, or it was Doug Martin. I think it was Ray Rice. So he goes talking shit back and forth. Ray Rice bumps him like, "What the fuck you doing?" 5'9" Ray Rice bumps into 6'4" JJ Watt, and then JJ Watt goes, "I've eaten burritos bigger than you, my guys." Yeah. So that's just another one. Just like I said, he had it at all times. He was just shooting the shit. He's a good soul. Like I said, whether he's got a ton of opportunity. He's got a good head on his shoulders, so we figure it out. So good on him. So hopefully, if he stumbles across this, thank you, JJ Watt. It was a lot of fun.
Jay, we love you.
Love you, JJ. Yeah, and last final thing. last little lingering thing on NFL. We can quickly get over to everything else. Do you guys know Heinz Field isn't called Heinz Field anymore?
Yeah.
Really? I had no clue. They had all these games this year. It took me till the Thursday night game or whatever, the whatever game.
It was one of the last fields that had like its original name or something. Wow. Like now, like Lambeau. Lambeau and Soldier Field are like the only two, I think, stadiums left that haven't changed their
Well,
name or
what's the new
something.
updated name now?
I honestly I had no idea. I don't
Yeah,
remember
I
off the top of my
wonder.
head.
I'll look it up real fast. We
Yeah,
can
I
get
mean,
it.
like I said, it's just I was like that from this and this field. I'm like, wait, they're at Steelers. They're at the Steelers field. It's not called Heinz Field. Yeah, I don't know what it was. You got it in front of you?
It's I can't I don't even know how to pronounce that.
Go ahead, do your best. It doesn't matter. Words are hard.
It says Acrisure Stadium.
Acrisure. I think it was Acrisure.
Acrisure Stadium.
Acrisure Stadium. It's something weird like that. You know, you're right. You know, like I said, you don't have to be perfect on here.
It changed its name to a Michigan-based insurance brokerage company.
Oh, that's got to sting a little bit. You know, being from Pittsburgh, you know, you don't want that. You don't like that, probably.
A Michigan-based company owns the stadium in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, not a good look. Not a good look. I'm sure the Yinzers in Pittsburgh are upset. I know maybe your brother's friend that's from Pittsburgh might find
Pete,
some
yeah.
fault in it. Yeah, his another Pete.
We know a lot of Pete's around
Yeah,
here.
we got a lot of Pete's around here. You know, a lot of Pete's, dude.
I don't know where they're coming from.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, that was the last thing I had on NFL. Of course, we'll be following up next week. Basically, whatever happens, whatever unfolds. I mean, unless there's some big grand NFL news. I mean, I don't think I'll plan on dropping another episode this week. So we'll get to that all next week. We'll hash it all out.
Well, yeah, actually, if you don't mind, I got one more NFL thing.
Oh, sure. Yeah, shoot.
So talking about people retiring and things, I know it's probably not official because, probably didn't bring it up, but Mike was kind of referring to it earlier. I'm sorry, Mike, to bring it back up, like twist the knife a little bit. But what about Rodgers? Do you think Rodgers retires? He was keeping that last jersey. He didn't want to give it up.
He was either keeping it or he's either big time in Williams. I'm not sure. The rookie Williams, I'm pretty sure, but
I think I'm gonna hold on to this one.
I'm hold on to this one. But I mean, he did.
Do you think he meant something by saying that? By
like I said it earlier. He played his last game
done.
As a Packer.
Mike
he's either retiring or he's gonna go play somewhere else. He's keeping that jersey because he wants to keep it as that's the last game he played as a Packer.
Yeah.
Or he's giving it to Randall Cobb because it's his last game and he's retiring.
My only thing on that was if I'm not going to put it past him to sit there and again put us Bears fans in that hope. He gave you guys hopium for actually making the playoffs, but he gave us just earlier had given us some hopium that hey, maybe he might retire. He might not be a pain in our ass for this whole season. I won't put it past him that he might not do that again. However, a lot of people that are older than us that have seen this type of action before are getting the vibe that this is the exact same thing, or of when Peyton Manning walked off the field, or when Brett Favre walked off the field. He didn't steal any money on the way like Brett Favre. But even when I left your place and we were watching the game, the first thing I did in my car, turned on local radio, the guy in 670 the score gave that exact feeling. He's like, I don't know the name off the top of my head, but he's like, I'm getting this vibe that this walk off, the way that the cameras were panning only to him, hugging Randall Cobb on the way out. The Lions had won that game and they were solely focusing on just Aaron Rodgers. So it really gave you that WWE type curtain call vibe for when, either someone's retiring or someone's going on to, if we're putting this in wrestling perspective, either someone's retiring or they're going on to NXT to the main roster or something like that. There was that vibe. So, I mean, I'm going to hope and pray that he's not playing anymore for the sake of just trying to enjoy football and being a Bears fan and whatever. But,
did you see the post-game interview?
I did not hear.
No, I did not. I didn't catch it. No.
Go ahead.
It's like one of the reporters just straight up asked him, is this your last game? And he was like, if it is, what are you gonna miss the most? And Aaron Rodgers just he stood there for a couple seconds. He was just thinking. He's
Damn.
like drinking his water and stuff, and he's like calling all the reporters by their names. Like he's like, I'm gonna miss your questions, Sharon. Like he's like, I'm gonna miss you, Mike, making reports about me. And like he was like, he said, I'm gonna miss the fans, I'm gonna miss the team. And he was just like, thank you. And he just left.
Fuck.
I was like, oh man, I got so sad.
Damn.
I'm a Packer fan, but
Yeah.
it sound like a bitch, but that's
Dude,
my quarterback, man.
I mean, as much as we want to give you flack and all that bullshit, I can again, I can sympathize with you watching one of your favorite guys. It just happened to me. I'm not going to be able to fully enjoy Jose Abreu anymore because he's on the Houston Astros. But I mean, just
yeah, I mean
in
that
same
stings.
in that same realm of like, you know, you don't want your guy that you've grown up on him all fucking this entire time being fandom. He's the sole reason why you're a Packer fan. You don't want to see him go. Again, I can. My selfish self, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm glad he's gonna be gone. But again, I can sympathize with you on that end. Of course, you don't want to see the fandom die. I guess that's a good follow up. You still gonna be a Packer fan there, Jim?
I mean, yeah, I'm too deep.
Boo!
I have too much Packer stuff. I
He's gonna get a
can't.
Christian Watson jersey. You know what? I'll give that to you
Now,
guys.
yeah.
Christian Watson's gonna be a phenomenal play. I've kind of already seen what you're going to get out of AJ Dillon. If you give him the full realm, he could be a absolute bowling ball. But Aaron Jones there is good too. That's just maybe
You got Love to look forward to.
Yeah, Jordan Love.
I'm interested to see what happens because Jordan
If the
Love said
Packers trade up and try and get the first round pick.
Jordan Love said that
okay.
he's not going to stay if he's not playing this next season. So
I mean,
if Rodgers stays, yeah, we're going to have Rodgers for one more year. Then Jordan Love's going to be gone, and we're going to look like complete fools. So I don't know how to feel about that. We'll just have to see what happens because we barely have seen anything of Jordan Love. Like I honestly couldn't tell you if he's good or not. So
you got a second half from him in the Bears game, I think, and then a couple other games here and there. You haven't seen a full season of Jordan Love and anything that he can provide.
I haven't think I've seen a full game of Jordan Love.
Yeah, you're probably right. Hasn't had very many reps in games that mean anything. So
yeah. Which I don't know. I'm starting to lean in the boat where I feel like, maybe it is time for something new and fresh. Maybe that's what the players want. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all just speculation. You just have to see what the upper management decides, of course. And knowing the Packers, it'll probably be something dumb. So.
Oh geez. Yeah, I guess that's about that. I mean, I can't really speak to anything more. I mean, that's what I want. I want Rodgers gone. He'll probably be on Jeopardy. He'll tackle that as the new
That'd be cool.
The new focus, like we were kind of saying, like maybe he just doesn't have the passion. He doesn't want to be he doesn't want to be the number one quarterback in the league no more. He wants to be the number one game show host on daytime network. So
at least he could be number one at something.
There you go. That's good. I mean, that's gonna be a good little paycheck. So again, can't be mad at that. And he's got a nice little 26-year-old squeeze right now. So again, you gotta be mindful. You don't want to shit where you eat on that one. That's the Bucks owner's daughter. So I know he's
also. I have a quick thing to say about the Packers' two players on the defense, Quay Walker and fucking Devontae Wyatt, the two Georgia players that we drafted this year. Dumb as fuck. In the most crucial moments of the game, you push one of their trainers that's trying to tend to the injured DeAndre Swift, and then Devontae Wyatt also is coming in like banging into the back of him, and I'm like, dude, like, what is wrong with you guys? Like, I'm like, it's just not what the Packers are about. That's not the culture that they build themselves on, and those are guys that should not be on the team.
Thank you for bringing that up. I completely forgot about that. Walker just bumping it and pushing the medical staff.
Definitely didn't bump into him. He
pushed him. Devontae Wyatt just bumped into him.
Yeah,
which is why he didn't get ejected. But
trying to big time and whatever. But yeah, especially everyone was saying after the whole DeMar Hamlin situation, you want to maybe show some support for this athletic training for any one of these athletic training teams and whatnot. You don't want to. I know, of course, nothing of that caliber was happening to DeAndre Swift at the time, but still, like this isn't a guy. This isn't a fair fight, dude. This guy was a foot shorter than you, not in pads. So I don't know what that idea was, and yeah, I don't know.
And that's
Whatever
also
led
the
to that.
second time that he's done this season. He's the only player in NFL history to be ejected twice in one season.
Oh my
And so
God.
congrats, Quay Walker, for pushing someone on the line staff. And guess what the other team was? The Bills.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, was it also Rasul Douglas who messed up the snap, and then that led to a personal foul and that got him a little bit closer.
One of
the dumbest plays I've ever seen. Like, you can't do that, dude. Yeah, I mean, this was again. I mean, just to quickly just turn back to that game. I mean, that was one of the strangest games that I've seen the Packers play just all around. I mean, you can sit here and say it was whose fault, their fault, but between the uninspired play from Rodgers, not him hitting on all cylinders, and just shooting themselves in the foot on just multiple occasions, between the ones that we just talked about. It just
interception,
yeah.
Aaron Jones fumble.
Yeah, they just kept handing this game back to the Lions, and sure enough, the Lions were just still inspired enough to keep their head in the game and still want to win. So yeah, good on them. So
the best player on the field was the Silver Fox, Mason Crosby.
on the backer end.
He was draining all of their kicks.
The Silver Fox.
Yeah, that's what us Packer fans call him.
Okay, good. I mean, I'm glad I'm outside of that loop. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, you guys all set on the football? You got any final?
Yeah,
final
no,
thoughts?
yeah, that was everything.
All right,
Go
cool.
back,
cool.
go.
Nope, no. You're gonna
Maybe Aaron Rodgers is in Vegas. That'd be cool.
Maybe, but I mean, he's gonna still probably spot in for Pat McAfee show and whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can't miss Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays, instead of actually like meeting up with your rookie receivers and like building some sort of chemistry and showing them hand signals and stuff, so they can know, but instead you're tripping out.
Yeah. More ayahuasca, please. Joe Rogan experience, please. Sorry.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That's gonna be the Packer report, and that's how it goes. Let's see. We can barrel through these last couple things. I'll let you little deep dive on the Bulls, but I just quickly go over to the MLB news. Just the unfortunate news of Liam Hendriks having to deal with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. That was the diagnosis a couple days ago. Tough break. I know a lot, but this is, of course, treatable and something that's going to be rooting for you, of course, Liam. That's going to be always going to be the thing that you always want the thoughts, prayers, whether you're religious or not. Just go ahead and keep a positive mindset for this guy. He definitely deserves it. The only thing I do want to point out and say, just I did like the thing that Chicago NBC put up, or the NBC Sports. When cancer found out they have to deal with Liam Hendriks, and it was just a bunch of swear words, like acting like cancer was having to deal with it. So I just trying to keep it light and trying to keep it positive. So I think that's just something fun to do. Not gonna, of course, not a laughable not a laughable thing by any means. So we're gonna try and find what you do. I think he's a tough enough guy mentally and physically that he'll be able to battle this. So I think positive mindset, 100%. Anything on this really quick?
You'll get through this, Liam. We love you, man. I'm not just White Sox fans, man.
Oh, absolutely.
We're all for you, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's rooting for this guy.
Yeah. I mean, of course he's whatever, hothead on the field and whatever, but he pulls it back, and he's a good, lovable guy off the field. They're constantly interviewing him on MLB Now and MLB Network for exactly that. They just want him on the mic because he's so good at talking. So good. Of course, unfortunately happens to a really nice guy that just, of course, and it's just unfortunate. But again, I think positive mindset. He's good enough that he can battle through this. So rooting for you, Liam. And yeah, that was basically it on that. I didn't want to didn't want to linger on that too much, just because, of course, that's a very touching matter. A lot of people have people linked to cancer, so it's an unfortunate situation. Everyone knows someone like that. Just continuing with the last little MLB news, something that popped up today. Excuse me. Carlos Correa, pending a physical, going to the Twins. Unfortunately, will be battling within the Sox division. As of right now,
weird
6
off
years.
season for Correa.
Yeah, bouncing around left and right. I don't even remember the first team that he was dealing with.
It was
but
the
of course,
Giants,
the Mets.
I think, right?
Yeah,
The
Giants, Mets. And now dealing with the Twins again, pending a physical. So we'll see how that goes. If it goes to a third team and he doesn't pass a physical, I don't know. I mean, this guy probably has to take a break. Of course, I know you want to go ahead and get paid, but you might want to figure out what's wrong with your health and then get back in the game. I think he's going to be good enough to do that, but I don't know. I'm going to, it's going to sound bad. And of course, we just rooted for a guy to get over a healthy situation, but I'm going to root against this guy's health. I hope he doesn't pass the physical and play and make the Twins team. I don't want to see him play against us at all. So I just, again, being selfish and whatever, I don't think whatever he was dealing with is life threatening by any means. So I think I feel a little bit better saying that. But not something I want to see as a White Sox fan. Carlos Correa getting a big paycheck and a long duration of time. Any thoughts on that?
It's as White Sox fans, it just sucks right now. It's like that Family Guy meme with Stewie and Brian. He's like, Brian, are we trash? Yeah. Like we're gonna be competing with the Tigers, probably. Like we fought, like the Guardians and the Twins are better than us now. Yeah. So it's just like fuck. Yeah. We went from 2 years ago, like, we were all at that playoff game against the Astros. The White Sox, they were electric, up and coming, and now it's just seems like everything has flipped on its head. So it just kind of sucks for us over here on the South side.
Yeah, not looking forward to that at all. I mean, that's like you just said, the White Sox have sat on their hands this entire offseason while we got Andrew Benintendi. That was a really good signing for a position that we needed. Just relying on the talent that we have just hasn't really been doing what we need to do, and just lost AJ Pollock to the Mariners. The Mariners have gotten so much better. They're going to be maybe a front runner to still gonna have to deal with the Astros in their division, but make a wild card spot. They can definitely make some noise as well. But it's just it sucks to sit there and compare and contrast while the Twins and Guardians up until now haven't done anything crazy. Getting Carlos Correa today, that was the big one. I think other than that, Josh Bell to the Guardians. I mean, it's a good bat. It's a good bat to have, and he had a solid season just on the low end, just because he was on the Nationals for the majority of the season. That's a disappointing move when you could have probably got him or anything just to make this team a little bit better, and the White Sox just haven't done anything. It's just
never
disappointing beyond belief. My only, I'm still positive in my mind. Just I want to see Andrew Vaughn and Gavin Sheets probably they're going to split probably the Jose Abreu at bats. I think Andrew Vaughn's going to get a better, more involved role at first base. I think that's going to be the way to go. But other than that, I mean, we haven't really improved than just getting the Andrew Benintendi, which is kind of a lateral move after losing AJ Pollock. So we'll definitely
I'll be excited to see more Andrew Vaughn.
Yes.
Least.
Yeah, the cyborg, our German cyborg, our
German soldier.
Yeah.
Everyone, if anyone's listening, I don't think he's German, but just look at his face when you're watching. Just imagine he's in a Nazi uniform.
Oh my God! Don't say that.
Just imagine.
Don't fucking say that.
He has
we like Andrew Vaughn.
He has the perfect face for it. He could be in like a movie or something about it.
Oh fuck! No, he does look like a clone. He does absolutely look like a clone. He's like the perfect specimen for a certain.
Just an FYI, we do not support the Nazi regime.
Thank you. This is only just the first show. I'm just trying to get off the ground.
But he does look like one.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's just drop it and talk about anything else. Really. I guess we'll
Yeah, so
just.
that was baseball, right?
What's up?
So that was baseball.
That was baseball. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Alan. That was a solid transition from baseball to a quick little, maybe, I don't know, any thoughts on DeMar DeRozan going down? I know they took about a 10-point loss to the Boston Celtics last night. The Bulls, they've been taking care of some big names. They went ahead and broke the streak that the Nets were on maybe a week or so ago of 11 odd games, taking care of some big heavy hitters. I think they, again, outright beating the Milwaukee Bucks also as well. Unfortunately, again, just losing to the Boston Celtics. Zach LaVine's kind of been coming on, but he's gonna have to pick it up even more now that DeMar DeRozan has gone out. I'm not really sure as the extent of the injury. I didn't really see it at all. Did you see the game, Alan? Do you want to chime in on anything that went down?
Yeah, I did watch most of that game. I didn't really follow up on what happened to him, but it looked like, me personally, I always think like when you see a foul or a play where he didn't get fouled and he still gets hurt, it's not like a contact foul.
Okay.
Like it's something that, hopefully didn't break anything or, tear any ligaments or whatever. But I never think it's a good, well, getting hurt's never good, but I feel like it's always worse when it's a non-contact, injury. So hopefully it comes out like with no issues, but he'll probably be out for a couple of weeks, I would think.
Yeah, that's gonna be definitely disappointing. We always see the box score filled with DeMar DeRozan scoring and just basically just filling up the stat sheet all along the way. So yeah,
we are gonna suck now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. If we can only hope that LaVine can step up and be that guy that we wanted him to be. But I more or less I want to see Vucevic step up and do something, but that I know that's not going to happen. The only thing that's very, very positive is Ayo Dosunmu having a solid little sophomore season. I'm liking what he's doing there. And what was the last guy I'm trying? Patrick Williams actually coming around, not being so bad, not looking like a bust by any means. He was. Oh, that was the other game against the 76ers. They outright beat the 76ers, being like 6 or 7 point dogs. Holding James Harden to 4 for 17 shooting was Patrick Williams. So that was awesome to see. Good if he's not producing on the offensive end, he's locking it down on the defensive side. So love to see that. That was basically it on the Bulls checking, unless you guys had anything else.
No, I'm with you on that. Patrick Williams, he's not just improving offensively. He's always shown great defensive skills, but he's still improving that as well. So overall, he's just becoming a way better player, and he's not looking like the bust everyone thought he was, or he's looking to turn out like a very solid player. I don't think he's necessarily a starter yet, but he's a great bench player to have. Definitely.
Yeah, he's not the all-star caliber guy that we probably thought he was going to be, but he can definitely fill a role and exceed in said role. So if he can get it together, be consistent, I can't be mad. Cannot be mad. That's basically the only thing. Any final thoughts linger on the Bulls there, guy, Mike?
He's the paw.
He's the paw. He sure is. All right, last little thing. We'll get you out of here. Maybe just on a wrestling note, like we usually do on these little expenditures. Let's see. Got 3 little things. Got 3 stories. One of them broke today, so I feel like might as well get it off right away. We'll start off with that. Breaking news was Stephanie McMahon, not just continuing her step away. She was going to take some time off, but no, she's fully resigning as co-CEO of WWE. Just officially dropped on her Twitter. She gave out a picture with a message of it, but with the caption of then, now, forever together, the same thing that was posted on on Vince McMahon's the final salute tweet. So I can just quickly maybe read through the message. Let me see. About 8 months ago, I took a leave of absence with a few weeks. Unexpectedly, the opportunity of a lifetime came up, which was being co-CEO. Stepped in and did that. Yada. I'm just going to paraphrase, honestly. So cannot put into words how proud I am, yada, yada, yada. But as of now, with Vince McMahon coming back, she can take her leave of absence and has good enough, a good enough idea that between Vince, Nick Khan, and Triple H, that she doesn't need to be there, and I don't think she was going to be anyway. So good on that. And of course, can talk about Vince McMahon coming back, which is also a big deal. I don't know whether that's going to be, if he's actually going to sit there and do the creative again, or if he was just there for a sale. So tons of things to get into on that. A bunch of any which way about it. I'm personally glad Stephanie McMahon maybe a little is gone from it. I mean, the McMahons are just slowly weeding their way out of it, so that's fine. Any thoughts on Stephanie McMahon taking a being done, just calling it quits?
Well, she's probably pissed that Vince is back. Like, they probably thought finally we can finally do this thing. She's like, triple like Hunter, we got this. This is our chance. I'm back, baby. I can't believe, like, fucking Vince, man. Like, why? Why does he have to do this? Everything is going just fine. Like,
I love all the
it's just going to get worse now. Like, it's like Tom Brady when he retired. He was like, I'm not fucking retiring. I'm coming back. Like, fuck this shit.
It was definitely a forced retirement, of course, with all the accusations and paralegals coming out saying that that Vince McMahon had touched him a certain way.
Yeah.
He had, of course, had no plans to retire other than that coming up.
We got a live.
Oh,
what's gonna win?
Oh, I think I see it before you, but I don't want to.
Are you?
Oh no, is that Scorsese that just won the Golden Globe?
Spielberg.
I always get them wrong. I don't know.
Won the Golden Globe for Best Picture.
What did he do? Which one did he have?
It's like The Fablesman or something.
His own movie about himself. What an asswipe.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, The Fablemans. That's supposed to be. It's about him. It's literally about him. It's like him and his family. God. Whoever plays the kid is supposed to be him, I'm pretty sure. And like, Fable is like a type of story, so the Fablemans kind of, I guess that makes sense. I'm not.
He just won Best Director.
Oh, there you go. That's not Best Picture then.
No, I was wrong.
Okay. Either way, I don't even remember what we're talking about. Stephanie McMahon stepping down from WWE. I mean, the Vince thing, him coming back, bunch of issues. It's either going to be there he is. He's all nice and snook. He's all tucked in. Is it going to be cleaning house again? Is Vince going to come in, take full control, and just dump everyone that Triple H hired, get rid of all these ideas like the blackout match that they're going to have at this upcoming pay-per-view? I mean, that's been all crazy. I mean, I myself personally haven't really been checking in, watching SmackDown and Raw live. I've only catch up in highlights and what other people say on podcasts and stuff like that. But from what I get from that, it's an absolute mess over there. If you like Uncle Howdy and all that jazz going on, I mean, feel free. But on the AEW side, we're watching a trios tag team championship, the Escalera de la Muerta coming up.
Escalera de la Muerta.
Definitely looking forward to that on that end. But if you guys are looking forward to Uncle Howdy, I guess now turning on Bray Wyatt, isn't he your uncle, dude? I mean, it's Bo Dallas.
Yeah,
it is Bo Dallas, of course. Everyone's like trying to figure out who else it could be. It's like, it's only Bo Dallas.
It could literally only be Bo Dallas. And if it's not, then like, why?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, anything lingering thoughts on just Vince McMahon coming back, Stephanie McMahon coming down? I didn't really get anything for you, Alan. Of course, we've been back and forth.
No, I haven't really been keeping up with WWE too much, but Vince coming back out. I like you're saying Tom Brady thing. He took a little time off. He's like, "Fuck this," I got to do what I've always been doing.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't, again, not really
And
up to him, but yeah, it could just be whether he's stepping in to actually say like, this is bad. I gotta jump in here and take control back of what was mine, or if he's just there simply for a sale. And we don't know if it's they're selling it
yeah,
to
that's
Disney, if they're
really
selling
true.
it
Yeah.
to fucking NBC for Peacock to take complete control over it or whatever. So, time will tell. Time will definitely tell if it goes back. I mean, Raw ratings are dropping. We're recording this on a Tuesday. Raw yesterday of all the people on Twitter or whatnot were basically saying that Dark Elevation had a better feel and a better vibe, and more like people gave a fuck in that show and less in the Raw show. So again,
Oh my God.
I can't speak of what happened about anything. I didn't get into the dirt sheets and stuff like that. I didn't see spoilers and anything, but if it's something like that and Raw ratings are dropping like bad, under a million views consistently, just doesn't sound like the solution is working, and it doesn't sound like adding Vince back into the mix is going to make it any better. So I don't know. I don't really know. If you guys are good on that, I had two last little things, and I had one little bit of an injury update, unfortunately. Just something I heard, and what can maybe spark a little bit of a conversation, a little bit of a back and forth of you guys, if you feel any which way about it. But AJ Styles, if you guys haven't heard, he unfortunately broke his ankle during a house show. And just when stuff like that happens to main event caliber guys, of course, AJ Styles moves the needle no matter where he's going to go. So he's a main event. He's a world title type guy. When those type of guys get hurt at house shows, when they're not going to be broadcasted, it just hurt. It stings a little bit. And I know it's a very traditional thing that wrestling shows and wrestling companies still have house shows, and just the live events is what this is. A WWE live event is what they're calling them now. But it's unfortunate to hear when a guy like that goes down, and it's just like, for the 10,000 people that were maybe there, it just sucks. So it's just, maybe, like, again, I don't have I won't die on the hill of hey, don't put any of your top tier talent in these house shows, but it's still like, why are you kind of having them? Like, you're the WWE. But okay, I don't know. So maybe just throw that up to you guys. What are you guys thinking about this one? Just hearing this news.
Fuck those house shows. Like, do you really need that? Like, does that income from those house shows really? I mean, I don't know the numbers, but like you said, they're WWE. You nearly need those house shows, and you're gonna get these people injured. At least have these people that aren't on the show. Like, I don't know, having these superstars on those kind of shows, and like AJ Styles getting hurt there, like, that's so fucked up. And there's been other people that have gotten hurt at those shows, like Seth Rollins and
Mark Henry back in the day had a really bad one. Of course, I think Batista may have even back in the day. Again, just these. Well, I'll just play devil advocate really quick, just on to the other side of, like, well, I'm kind of 50-50. I was a big fan of, like, when I was a little bit younger, they're a little cheaper than going to the than actual Monday Night Raw and SmackDown shows. So you open up the opportunity for other audiences to make this event happen and still to enjoy WWE wrestling without breaking the bank and whatnot. But again, you have so much talent that if you do have AJ Styles there, let him only go. It sucks, but only have him in a tag team match for 4 minutes, man. And I don't know what of course I fumbled it. I should have maybe looked into what the details of the match were, if it was a singles or if it was a tag team match.
It was a tag team match.
Okay,
I saw the video of him getting hurt.
Okay, so maybe even was that game plan where if it is a 8-10 minute match, he's only really going to see 4 to 5 minutes of action in said match. But something, of course, can always go wrong at any sort of time, and it's unfortunate. But yeah, it's just, I don't want to completely condemn them for having house shows, but it is just like, you have a performance center, you have all these guys, you got a bunch of people on NXT, Raw, SmackDown that don't get enough TV time.
Yeah, exactly.
While it sucks for the people that probably paid, you gotta throw these guys out there that aren't gonna. I mean, this kind of screws up what could have been a Royal Rumble storyline leading into WrestleMania with, again, just I don't know what they had going on with AJ Styles at the time, but it's a big owie. It's a big boo boo. So I mean, no pun intended, but it sucks. It definitely does suck to not have AJ Styles in your back pocket ready to go.
Like you were saying, their views aren't there right now either, and it's not going to help at all. So
yeah,
getting him hurt in a match where it's not televised, they're not. It's not for anything, it's just for a fill. It's basically just a filler.
It's for the Judgment Day to leave them alone.
Yeah, exactly. Just shit like that. Yeah, so I'm very unfortunate, and I know an ankle surgery, an ankle injury, probably not going to be out in a ridiculous amount of time. But an injury like that, you gotta be aware, gotta be ready to go. But probably out for 3 to 4 months, I would think, off the top of my head. But I'm not a doctor. you can tell, not a doctor currently. Doctors currently wearing their Chicago Sky hats all around. Last little thing, and I think that's maybe a good way to just end the show, close the show out. Just something I heard a couple weeks ago. Didn't nothing to break the bank, nothing to write home to mom about. Oh, why didn't this get more traction or anything? Just something really small that The Rock did a couple weeks ago. Him being a young kid, he was, if you don't know his background, The Rock, he was and not having his dad around on the road all the time. He didn't have all the supervision and whatnot or whatever didn't have a lot of money as a kid. So he stole what he used to steal from his local store, just a candy bar. And he would steal, according to him, he would steal like one Snickers bar per day for X amount of days during whatever summer, or the 2-3 summers that he was there. So what he did just recently was he went to that same store and he bought all of the candy bars. He bought all the Snickers bars and everything. So that was really cool and whatnot. So I good. I'm gonna congratulate you. That's cool and whatever. But let's peel it back a little bit. The Rock is worth $20 million, if not more. You can buy more than just candy, my guy. You were sitting there and stealing for years and years and years.
Come on, let's be honest. He didn't just steal a candy bar, all right?
I know, but you're still The Rock, and you want to make this big thing like, oh, I made it up.
Should have bought the entire store.
Yeah, make a nice little donation, make a little bonus. You're The Rock.
Emptied them out.
Named it The Rock. Just name the store The Rock or something.
Yeah. So I mean, and again, he could have done this 20 years ago instead of 30 or 40 years ago, however X amount of years ago it's been since he's done this. He's been only a movie star for the past 15 years, and just prior to that, he was the number one wrestler for another 5-10 plus years. So I don't know. Again, it's again, I'm just busting balls. It's a very nice story. He could have just done nothing and we could have never known about that ever. But I just, again, just gonna buy some candy bars, dude. Maybe slip him something else on the side, my guy. So whatever. It's fun either way. I just thought it would just be fun to bring that up and to get your guys' thoughts on that in general. So that was a fun little story. Maybe that capped off and get you guys on a positive note. In that light, in that way, that about wraps it up over here. First episode of No Substitute for Sports in the books over here. Do you guys have any closing thoughts? Anything lingering that you didn't get to? We didn't say.
There are no substitutes for goddamn sports.
Thank you. What'd you have there?
You got that right.
Thank you very much. As per usual, again, if you're stumbled upon this, thank you for watching, thank you for following and all that. Do all that, like, review, subscribe. I don't know. I'll have this on I'll try and have this on every sort of platform. I think I re-signed and signed up for all the accounts and all that fun jazz. So we'll get to that. Either way, we'll be on the same YouTube channel as usual. New name and everything. I'm going to rebrand the Twitter. So if you if you see that you're following, I didn't follow No Substitute for Sports. I followed the DAAAgenerates Podcast. Well, going to have a different name, probably still the same Twitter handle. So either way, like I said, just wanted to get you guys there. Alan, you're here now. Did you take your notes? Did you take your notes when Troy beat you?
Yeah, I definitely been taking all my notes.
There you go. He wanted to make sure that I got you in on that. He's the champion of your guys' 6-man league. So congrats on that. That was a 2-week expenditure that I know it was grueling for both of you.
He got lucky.
Oh, he got lucky. You lucky punk. Either way, of course, Alan was here. He was live in person taking his notes. So Troy, no need to worry about that. Thank you, Troy, for joining in. I know he was at the edge of his seat, ready. He's like, "Where's the DAAAgenerates Podcast?" Of course, we all know. And this is going to be it. This is going to be the substitute for the DAAAgenerates Podcast. Is No Substitute for Sports. So here you go. But again, like we said, we'll have everyone which way, everyone here. I'll have anyone that wants to join. Come on in. Send us whatever. Same policy. Send us clips. Send us fucking voice memos. We're ready to talk. That's all we want to do here. So again, thank you, Mike. Thank you, Alan. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day, taking the time out of your night to join me today. And again, just getting the foot off the ground for this new show. No Substitute for Sports. Again, thank you, everybody. Take care. Take care of yourself and each other. We'll see.
Thank you.
Got it.